Roy steaming on. But unseating Cucarachi. On board here with this crew, going through the very rocky part. Co-driver giving all sorts of advice, like be careful and slow down. Helpful stuff like that. Go left, he says, go left. Follow the tracks, follow the stage. Easier said than done. He says follow towards the cameraman. But you can see on the right-hand side quickly there, you can see the stricken VW of Jutta Kleinschmidt and the Nissan of Ari Vatanen. At least they were taking the right way through rather than the deep part that caught out the blue VW on the right of our picture there. They were okay and got through.
Bye-bye.
But for the people on the quads, it was a difficult day's work before more struggles in the dunes. And that was before the sun went down. If it was hard enough during daylight, can you imagine what it's like in the middle of a complete dust bowl? It's a dark night out in the desert, no ambient light from any nearby towns or such like. It is a very, very dark place in which to be. And when you're trying to tow somebody through, it just gets even harder. Survival of the fittest out there in the dunes. The leading crews have the virgin sand to race across. It's not so hard. But then for the other runners, it just gets harder and harder and harder. Never mind if you're in a truck bouncing around in the dark. Then it starts to rain. Vladimir Chigin experiencing some desert rain. Here with Olivier Lecoq in the middle of the dunes, he was beginning to get to his limit. Think of your hardest day that you've ever had and multiply it by about 10. With Francois Couval on the stage from Tantan to Attar, he says, oh dear, he says 12:45, midnight. It's time to go. It was a short night for me, maybe only 3 hours. I slept a little bit, but on the Dakar, it's more than a week's work in just over a day and a half.
35 heures chez ASO, c'est encore pas bon maintenant, je crois.
On board though with Gregoire de Mavius from Tajika to Nema, having a joke with his co-driver. He said that he was coming up to the elephant rocks. His co-driver said, well, maybe you'll recognise the backside of the elephants, or words to that effect. The pair of them having quite a laugh in the BMW. The elephant rocks so named, as you can see. What stories they could tell from thousands, if not millions, years ago. On the stage from Tantan to Attar, the riders had the opportunity for a quick sleep after the long road section before the stage got underway. But the medical crews, as always, catching up with everybody. He says, well, they finished so late last night, we're always seeing if they're okay. Because if they're so tired, all it's going to do is make them have another accident. And accidents did happen on that stage, and accidents, indeed, they were big. Denis Comte having a big one, and out of the rally, as with many people this year. It really has been a Dakar of attrition, and only the strongest have got here to Burkina Faso. On board with this rider, he says we've had snow, we've had cold, we've had rain, and now in Africa we've got a dust storm. This is the Dakar. It's just like life. Everything is in it.
On a des moments de bonheur, de stress, de frayeur, on a tout.
This Spanish rider leaving his motorcycle and walking to a point where he could be collected by the broom wagon.
Motores.